so much, everyone. We're just going to yoink that out and conclude. Wow, what an epic day. I'm going to go and rewrite my thesis now. That was really fantastic. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for coming, for staying from 9 in the morning till 6 in the evening, and hopefully till 10:30 at night when we all go for the party section of this conference. If you haven't already got a ticket, there will be door sales, £6, and for that £6 you will receive a glass of wine or iron brew. And Liz Lockhead, Alan Bissett, Miko Berry, Jenny Lindsay, Chris Agee, Alan Riek, Harry Giles, Alec Finley, Angus McNichol, and Curtis Stevenson. That's a very good deal. So hopefully we'll see a few of you there. We've talked about a lot in this conference, and one thing I've been really satisfied with is how much crossover there's been between each section, but also how much difference. It's fantastic to get a collection of people all in one room from all of these different perspectives, and I wonder how different those approaches would have been if we were doing it in the heat of the moment. I think this 1 year on has been really, really instructive and really fascinating. Scott's idea that the Indie Ref is a kind of narrative in and of itself kind of makes me think of the whole Indie Ref process for each and every one of us as a kind of work of art in and of itself, and I really, really like that image. It's probably not what you meant, but I really like that. We've talked about how are we going to remember this in the future. We are already remembering, of course, because it has been a year, so whether that's through poetry or archives or novels or artwork or whatever. Now all of this is a conversation that will continue, so please, if you haven't already followed the website blog, or if you haven't put your name on the mailing list, please do so that we can keep you in touch. One of the things that we will be putting up there, of course, is your beautiful colourful creations from the breakout discussions. We're going to leave these up on the stage, so before you leave today, I do encourage you to have a look at some of the things that we've been talking about. Just to also add in a positive, would anyone be deeply offended if I tell you the result of the rugby? I'm sorry, I am a New Zealander, but Scotland beat Japan. Thought I'd add that little bit of happiness in there. I did, and speaking of rugby, I think all of this is fascinating, not just in Scotland, but if we sort of look beyond that as well. So of course I can't help but think of things as a New Zealander, and we're about to have a referendum on whether or not to change our flag, whether or not to get rid of the Union Jack. And so many of the things that we discussed here today, flags kept coming up, Union Jacks, and the potency of these symbols that we just take absolutely for granted. But not too long ago, Canada would have taken that symbol absolutely for granted, and now it's a strange thing to think of that as part of their flag. So do watch that space as well. If you haven't already, of course, the museum exhibition is still outside. On your way out, this is your last chance to look at it. Things are beautiful for their impermanence. So we hope that's something that you'll enjoy. One thing I think we can take away is that it's impossible to say exactly how much influence art has on politics and vice versa, but I think what we can take away, and what has been a kind of unanimous, if anything, has been from today, is that you can't separate them. Anyone here who's done an undergraduate English degree will know that you can't study a poet without studying their political consequences. And if you read a lot of history books, you'll find that you can't study political history without studying the art. And I think that's a really positive thing to take away, even if sometimes that influence is very difficult, if not impossible, to gauge. So before I pass over to Katie, I'd like to say a massive thank you to her for making the last 9 months so much fun, as well as a challenge and really, really rewarding. I can't believe that she's only been in Scotland a year. She's really had her finger on the pulse the whole time, so if you could all join me in saying a big thank you to her. So, I'm now going to pass on to her, but on behalf of both of us, thank you so much for being here and contributing.
And I can't speak highly enough of Sarah. It's been amazing working with her for the past 9 months, genuinely. She's only been here, how long has it been for you? A year and a half, yeah, so not long for either of us. And the dedication that she's put into this conference has been absolutely brilliant. Her gift is in the back. I'm not nearly as prepared for this, but genuinely, thank you so much for everything that you've done. So, thank you, Just a couple of reminders really quickly. If you could all fill out the photo release forms that were in the conference pack, just so that we know that we have permission to put up your image and so that we don't chase you down with text like, is that tweet okay? I don't know. Just to secure all of that, that would be absolutely wonderful. As well, the questionnaires, we've included one of those in all of the packs. If you could just take a moment to fill those out, it's really great to have feedback so that we know if we do one of these again. No plans in the pipeline yet, but based on the interest in this, it's definitely something that we may follow up on. So it would be great to have your feedback in case that does happen. As Sarah said, please sign up for the mailing list if you're interested in updates. And just to do a couple more thank yous. So we've already thanked Amy. Amy has been brilliant, but also the rest of the team at the NLS for hosting us. Ollie left earlier today, but she did all of the lights. She was great. Kenny from the events team, everyone else who made this possible. Thank you to the volunteers from the Edinburgh University Literature Society who have been here all day tweeting and helping out. You guys have made it so much easier and run so much more smoothly, so thank you for that. Thank you as well to our photographers. Leonie Dunlop was taking some photos earlier today, and Neil Walker was also photographing part of the conference. And finally, thank you to our funders. So this wouldn't be possible without the folks who provided funding. So the University of Strathclyde Public Engagement Fund, the University of Strathclyde Research Support Fund, and the Strathclyde Research Cluster for English all provided a massive amount of support. So thank you to them. I'm gonna applaud that. And finally, thank you to you. Thank you to all of our speakers, and thank you to you for joining in this discussion. Hope you have a great night. Hope that you decide to spend it with us just down there at the Augustine Church. Thank you so much for coming.